Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this very quick video. I'm doing this live because I don't have a lot of time. So basically, this is another discussion on the new Bond movie, No Time to Die, which has been delayed, and delayed. This movie has been cursed with production problems and took a long time to really get going, and was delayed in April. Well, March actually. March it was delayed to November because of the coronavirus outbreak. And yeah, currently the film is still scheduled to be released in November across the UK and the US. However, there are various articles which are discussing a potential delay again. This would be really devastating news if this happens. The reason for this is they are concerned because in the US, the cases of the coronavirus have spiked. They are still not in a very good place because of, well, there's only one man in charge of America, isn't there? And let's just say he's not been doing a very good job. I'll say no more than that. But as a Bond fan, it would be really a shame to hear if they delay the movie again, because we have been waiting 5 years for this movie, and it is very frustrating to have to continuously wait for it. Again, I'm not blaming the filmmakers and producers on their own, really. I mean, it's not really their fault. They're in this situation just like the rest of us. They want nothing more than to release this movie. They could release it tomorrow if they could, but it really is just. It's just a downer. If this is to happen again, this is speculation. This is not confirmed, but I have a feeling it might be. It's looking like it's going to head that way. At the end of the day, this movie has been invested with like $250 million or something. It's such an expensive movie, so naturally they want to make money off it. But I think the producers need to kind of start considering that they may have to consider a loss for this movie. Even if they do release it in November, be prepared to make a little bit of a loss, because I think the fact that the cinemas haven't reopened yet, or well, they're going to reopen very soon, is only very telling. And other films keep being delayed as well, so this is not a good sign. I think if new films come out this summer, or well, sorry, in August, or going forward to the end of the year, then maybe they'll have confidence in it. I think what they should do is they should play it by ear, not say anything yet. Wait till August. Wait till Wonder Woman and Tenet come out and see how they do. I think, to be honest, with No Time to Die as well, they're worried about people not wanting to see it. Well, you've got a whole fan base of Bond fans. They are desperate to see it. They will flock to the cinema and see it. Even under social distancing, they will see it. I am one of those people. I will happily go to the cinema wearing a mask, bringing sanitizer with me. I'll do anything to see this film. And I know they're concerned about the box office. Again, it's a movie industry. The film lives or dies via the box office. I know that they're concerned about the money they would potentially lose if they were to release it. If they're going to go ahead with November, they're probably still concerned. But at the end of the day, I don't know what to make of this, to be honest. I mean, if they delay the movie again, I just hope it's not much more of a delay. I suppose they might delay it till summer, maybe. I don't know, into 2021, because the April slot has been taken up by Fast and Furious 9. But I don't know what's going to happen. I'm kind of just waiting to hear the news. But my general feeling is I really hope to God they don't delay it again, because it would be nice to finish this crappy year with something positive. And hopefully, if we're vigilant enough, and we've been observing social distancing, we've been trying our best to reduce the rate of the virus in the UK. I can't speak for the US. I know there was the whole George Floyd incident, which didn't help, and then people tested positive for COVID after that, which was annoying. I mean, at the end of the day, this is only a film. The people's health is more important. I would rather be safe, and I'd rather people be safe even under social distancing and whatnot to see a film, rather than release the film and have everyone catch the virus. Of course, that's no one wants that. But obviously, as an industry, movies need to get back on track. The cinemas have been closed for months now, since March. So the movie industry needs to get back going. So they can't really afford to keep delaying films. I mean, I'm not just talking about I'm not just talking about Bond. I'm talking about every sort of film. Like, I'm sure distributors want to get films out there. Again, sometimes you got to take risks. You worry too much about people not wanting to go to the cinema. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of people that would want to go to the cinema. They may have to book. It's going to be very different. Social distancing. They'll have to take seats out, or they'll reduce the seating capacity. But it's being done at the moment. I think cinemas are slowly organizing themselves to get things back going. And of course, they're going to have staggered film times as well to allow people to go in and out without socially integrating, which I think is great. All the precautions are being done. I mean, pubs are open, restaurants are now open, salons are going to open, even theaters are going to open, I've heard today, which is great. Thank God. I mean, theaters are going to take much longer to get back on track, but I think cinemas will be fine. I think we will get to a stage where we will just get used to it. But we need to start doing this. We need to start getting into practice. And then, hopefully, if we do this now, then hopefully by November, I would have thought we would all be aware of social distancing. And if they really want to make the most money they can out of No Time to Die, just have it go on for longer. Have it run for a longer period of time in the cinema. Have it run for like 3 months or something. That should be enough time. I mean, I don't know what else they can do, really. Yeah, I mean, in terms of premieres, they may have to reduce the premiere or have no people at the premiere, or reduce the amount of people there. But they could still have a fairly glitzy premiere, albeit a COVID premiere, to say. But I think Bond, it needs a cinematic release. And people have said, oh, just put the damn thing on streaming. We're just so fed up of waiting. And I totally understand the frustration. But from my point of view, putting it on streaming, it's not going to work. You're going to make an even bigger loss than if you throw it in the cinema. If you put this film straight onto streaming, then that's a waste of millions and millions of dollars. You even if you charge a lot of money, like 25, 30 quid for people to buy it or to watch it, it's not the same. And it's not as many. How do you know if there are going to be many people that are even going to, purchase it? It's hard to say at the moment, but I am keeping my fingers crossed that this film will stay as the November release date. I think it was a bit of a silly decision for the US to actually put the date forward. They actually put the release of No Time to Die 5 days forward than what they were originally going to do. I think the US needs to control itself with the virus. I think Trump needs to really buckle down. And he should have realized this sooner. I really do feel sorry for the Americans. I really do. They are being led by such a corrupt person. He's such an incompetent person. But that aside, I hope that the virus can sort of calm down in America. America seems to have had it the worst. But I mean, the UK, we've still got it, but it's not as aggressive as it was back in March. Everyone's worried about a second wave, but if we continue social distancing and just observing and being alert and everything, we should be okay. I think if the cinemas do reopen in the next few weeks, I think it'll be a bit of a struggle to get used to the new way of things. But I, for one, am willing to do what it takes. And if it means we get No Time to Die at the end of the year, then I'm in for that. Again, film premieres, not sure how that's going to work. Especially with traveling internationally, that's going to be difficult. With Bond as well, I would imagine they are probably worried about international premieres. They may have to do less premieres, or they'll have to, or that might be another reason why they'll delay the film, is because they think maybe next year they can have more premieres. But yeah, I think the UK premiere is the main one that they need to do, because Bond is a British thing, and maybe if they just have 2 premieres like England and the US, obviously travel restrictions might be a bit of a problem. Again, I don't know exactly what the travel restrictions are at the moment. I would imagine that there are not many places you can go to. As well, traveling would be very risky. I would imagine that people would be very worried about that. So at the end of the day, I don't have a lot to say about it. I just hope that we get this film in November. I mean, if we don't get it in November, if it's delayed till 2021, that will be a shame, but we'll have to deal with it. I just hope it's worth the wait. We've been waiting for this film for so long, and it's finished. We know it's finished. Cary Fukunaga has admitted it is finished, and he is not going to edit it anymore. It is done. He's just waiting to release it. So, yeah, please, guys in the chat, let me know what you think about this. It's a bit of it's only speculation, so don't take this to be true yet. Currently, there's been no announcement about it, so maybe they're gonna wait and see what happens with other films. That would be what I would do if I were a producer or an exec or a distributor of this film. I would see how things go in the US with the virus, and also with other films being released. If movie theaters are going to open in the UK, well, I don't know about the US. I don't know if the US are going to open its movie theater doors, but I think this is looking very likely. I'm not going to be surprised if there's an announcement that says No Time to Die delayed till 2021. I won't be surprised. Oh, it sucks. It's a terrible situation for Bond fans, and I mean, just a terrible situation in general, just for the world. You know, this virus, COVID, has disrupted the entire world. I mean, I don't even know if we'll ever get over this. We need a vaccine. We need a vaccination. The sooner we have a vaccination, the better. That begs the question with Bond. Like, they can't delay it forever. There's only so many times you can delay a film, and you know they really need to. They need to think about this long term. Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of uncertainty with what goes on. Again, I'll say this again. They're going to have to accept that they may not make as much money this time. I know the opening weekend is like a big thing, and they want it to do well. There is a chance for it to make money. Of course there is. But again, with a reduced seating capacity, you know, you just got to be prepared that you may not make the $1 billion mark that you want. You're probably going to make maybe a good amount of million, but you may potentially not gross as much as Skyfall and Spectre. Again, I really don't know. It's hard to say. We have other films scheduled to come out, like Tenet and Wonder Woman 1984. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they pan out. I don't know what's happening with their premieres, whether they're actually doing big premieres or not. Maybe they're not doing premieres because of COVID. Maybe they're just releasing the movie. But yeah, I want to see how that goes. I want to see how they're going to do making their money and whatnot. I think people will genuinely want to go to the cinema. I think people are now at a stage where they feel they could probably do it, even if they have to wear a mask and bring hand sanitizer with them. They could probably do it. And I'm sure that the staff in the cinema will cordon off the seats that can't be purchased. So yeah, and in the UK, Cineworld cinemas are opening on 31st of July, as Nick has said in the live chat. Empire Cinemas haven't said anything, as far as I know, Nick. They haven't made any plans, but I would imagine they're probably going to try and reopen at the end of the month, or maybe August. I think that's the plan for most chains, but I'm not sure if Empire are having a refurbishment maybe, or taking seats out before they reopen. I don't know. I mean, because the cinema where I'm closest to, where Nick is closest to, is only a 6-screen cinema, and one of the screens is small. So maybe they'll have to take seats out. I don't know. Just temporarily until COVID settles down or goes away. It's hard to know what's going to happen. It really is. I don't want the movie industry to die, and that's why cinemas need to reopen. They need to keep reopening. People just need to be vigilant. People can still go to the cinema. They just need to be vigilant. And I think that No Time to Die should release in November. I think, I mean, you know, I think the Bond fandom is really hungry for this film. A lot of people are really frustrated. Bond fans, they want to see this film. They respect, obviously, the COVID situation, and the producers were in a particularly difficult situation, but they want to see this film. So I don't think they need to worry about people not wanting to see it. I just think they need to be prepared about money. You know, I think that's their main concern, is the money that will be made from the film or not be made from the film, depending on how you look at it. I think that No Time to Die could still do really well if it comes out in November, because odds are there's not going to be many other films out. So, you know, take the opportunity is what I say. It will be difficult. Yes, it will be difficult. Obviously, the US is a different story, but in terms of the UK, it'll be difficult, but they might make some money. They will hopefully make a good few million. So I know they want to get to 1 billion, and I think they could try maybe at a push, but it would be very difficult under these circumstances. I think they need to be prepared that this virus isn't going to go away anytime soon. I would like to think by November maybe things may have settled down, but who knows? And oh, hello, Cypher's Movie Talk. I meant to mention this guy in my videos. He's a great guy. Subscribe to him. His reviews are really good. I'm ready to get back. Oh, well, good. I mean, obviously, you, my friend, you obviously have a family, so that's different for you. You obviously have you have a kid, and you need to put him first, and obviously. But I think as a movie fan like you, I am ready to go back as well. I often sometimes I'm happy to go to watch a film on my own, you know, if like at very short notice. So I wouldn't, even if I have to go on my own because of COVID, then I'll do that. So yeah, and if there was another film that Nick mentioned about, I think Halloween Kills or something, released that was meant to come out this October, but it's now been delayed by a year. I mean, that's fair enough, yeah, but that's a much smaller movie. That's not anything on the budget of Bond. But yes, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for the shout out. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I've rambled on for long enough. I actually don't have a huge amount of time left. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, then now is the time to do so. I may not be able to answer anything specific, but all I know is at least cinemas are reopening, so that's good. I think they might be showing some old films as well, just to see how things go. But I would like to think that the new releases will come out and people will flock to see them. I mean, that's why we go to the cinema, to see the latest films. It may take a bit of time for money to start circulating again, but we need to get the economy back up and running globally, not just in the UK. My concern is the US. For Bond, my concern is the US. If the US is still in such a bad state as the year goes on, and if they can't control the virus, if they can't get a handle on this situation, then I will expect another delay from No Time to Die, because I doubt that the film will be released in the UK in November and then in the US in, like, say, next summer. That would be ridiculous. I think they'll want to release them around a couple of weeks out. That's how they normally do it. With Spectre, the previous film, they had an October release date for 2015. It was 26th of October or something, and then it was like 7th of November or something in the US. So it was like a week or so out. Well, what was my most anticipated movie of 2020? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Well, to be honest, No Time to Die. But other than that, I don't really know, because there's not much coming out. I guess one of the films I want to see is A Quiet Place 2. That's one film I am looking forward to. A Quiet Place Part 2 I'm looking forward to, as well as Wonder Woman 1984. I'm not crazy about the trailer for that, but I will give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. It looks good anyway. And I suppose it will be good to see it tonight. But yeah, obviously No Time to Die is the one that I want to see. Oh, The Goonies. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love The Goonies. I must review that film one day, and that's a really good film. The Goonies. That's a great movie. And actually, fun fact, if those of you who didn't know, that movie stars Sean Astin, who was an actor who was in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So, yeah, but that was when he was much younger, obviously. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of my local cinema, I don't know when that's going to reopen, but luckily I have I know a Cineworld chain that's not far from me, and I have a friend who lives near one, so we could always go to that. But yeah, I hope my local one opens up soon. I hope so. That would be nice. It'd give me something to do. I've been stuck inside all the time. It's been kind of boring, to be honest. Um, yeah. Oh, sorry. I meant to say hello to Land Before Time 75. Hello. Yeah, I'm okay. Not too bad. I'm out of work, so I don't have a lot to do. But thank you for asking anyway. So yeah, I mean, if the cinemas do show old films, what would your requests be? For me, I would definitely love to see the Lord of the Rings movies in the cinema. Those are like my favorite films of all time. I would very much like to see those on the big screen. I was far too young to see them when they came out, and I didn't see them until 2006. That was the first time I saw Lord of the Rings. But yeah, Return of the King is actually my favorite movie of all time. So I would, even if I could only see one, I'd see that one. Obviously, they would show the theatrical cuts, not the extended editions, because they're too long to show in the cinema. But that would be my wish, and possibly Harry Potter as well. Some of the old classics, they talked about The Empire Strikes Back, although I don't think that's happened now because they're not opening so soon. They talked about what was the other one? Back to the Future. They talked about as well. But what about you guys? What would you want to see in the cinema? That's an old release. There's several movies. Mm. The Conjuring 3. I've actually never seen the Conjuring films, so yeah, I can't comment about that. Death on the Nile. Oh yeah, that's Kenneth Branagh's remake of that film. Oh, if anyone, speaking of Kenneth Branagh, if anyone's seen Artemis Fowl, oh god, what a terrible film. If you have Disney Plus, just beware Artemis Fowl. I'm glad that it didn't get a theatrical release now. I mean, COVID stopped that, but also Disney stopped it because they weren't confident with the film. I did a rant on Artemis Fowl if anyone's interested, but yeah. Top Gun Maverick. Well, Top Gun Maverick. Oh yes, Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I forgot that was coming out. Black Widow. Yeah, obviously a Marvel movie. I can see that that being popular. And First Movie Talk says you'd like to see Indiana Jones and the original Ghostbusters. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I personally, Ghostbusters is one of those film series that I could just never get into. I can never get into Ghostbusters. I tried to watch the first one years ago. I just found it boring. I'm sorry, I couldn't get into it. I mean, maybe I'll review them one day, but my attention was not there for the first film. I watched the reboot film in the cinema with my sister and her friend a few years ago. The one with the female cast. I didn't have a problem with the fact there was a female cast. I just had the issue that the film itself was terrible. I thought the film was crap. It was very badly done. Stupid jokes, stupid humor, stupid CGI as well. But yeah, I know there's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out, so maybe I'll give that a chance. But I'm not really a fan of Ghostbusters, if I'm going to be honest. And Indiana Jones, yeah, well, obviously they're making a fifth Indiana Jones movie, but that's going to be delayed again because of COVID. But yeah, I would like to see the original trilogy in the cinemas. I'm not crazy about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but if they show that, then okay, I'll pay a few bucks to watch it. I mean, those movies are made for the big screen. Oh, hello, Jack. Yes, yeah. But Lord of the Rings is definitely my all-time. You think No Time to Die will be delayed until 2022? Well, I don't know. It's hard to say at the moment, Jack. Let's hope. Let's have a bit of optimism. Let's hope and pray that doesn't happen. That it doesn't get delayed till 2022. Because I don't think the Bond fandom could take it. I don't think the Bond fandom would be able to cope with that. I mean, the only good thing to say if it does come out in that year is that it will be the 60th anniversary, which is crazy. But yeah, and obviously that means it would have been 10 years since Skyfall, which was the 50th anniversary. So yeah, let's hope and pray that it comes out next year at the very latest. But let's hope and pray it comes out this year. It deserves to come out this year. Yeah. So, I mean, Jack, as you joined late, I'll ask you, what films do you want to see in the cinema, like old films that were pre-released? When the cinemas reopen, they're going to show old films. So, yeah, what would you like to see? I know we mentioned yesterday on privately about The Godfather, and I would certainly love to see the Godfather trilogy on the big screen. They are fantastic films. Even the third one, even the third, I defend the third. But yeah. Has anyone else got anything to ask or say in the chat? Otherwise, I'll probably call it there. I've got somewhere to be in 10 minutes anyway. I guess one thing I'll say is I have a question for Cypher's Movie Talk. If you're still watching, bud, you've got a little boy, as you've mentioned in your videos. Do you think he'd be ready to go back to the cinema? Do you think that they should be showing any kids' movies? Do you think that they would be able to have kids be socially distant in a cinema? I don't know if they would, but you speaking as a parent, like, what would you say to that? If I may ask, of course. We'll just see if he replies. If not, it doesn't matter. Oh, Harry, yes, I forgot to mention. Harry Thomas commented. Yeah, I mean, movies like Trolls World Tour and Scoob, yeah, they probably don't have as much of a budget as Bond. So yeah, I guess, and also the fact that the lockdown happened when it did, and kids were off school, so I guess they thought, well, that was a good time to put it on streaming. They obviously charged a lot of money for families to watch it, but I think they still made a decent amount of money out of Trolls World Tour. Obviously, not as much as it would have been in the cinema, but I think it's fair to say that they did the best they could with it. As for Scoob, I can't speak for that one, but again, I still am glad that Artemis Fowl didn't get a cinematic release. I'm glad I didn't waste my money on that. Oh, well, I mean, from what I can tell, your boy is quite young. Cypher's Movie Talk. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he'd be sort of worried about that. But well, judging from your shelf, I can see in your reviews, you seem to have a lot of movies. So I'm sure he'll be very happy to to watch some films at home with you. And yeah, oh, he's 7. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. And I must admit, I loved your video when you showed us your technology, and I love that you've got a projector. I might have to invest in one of those eventually if I can find the space for it. I guess sort of if you just it sort of makes it feel a bit more cinematic, doesn't it? I've got a HD TV. I mean, it's 32-inch. It's pretty good, but obviously it's not as good as your stuff. So yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah. Is there anything else that anyone wants to say? Otherwise, I'll probably end the stream here. Oh my god, I've been on for 28 minutes. That's ridiculously long. Sorry about the. It's turned into a bit of a discussion about No Time to Die, but also a discussion about cinemas reopening, I suppose. But yeah, I'll give it just a minute or so. That being said, I mean, people have said how much they're losing enthusiasm for No Time to Die, but I'm still excited for him. I mean, again, Daniel Craig's my favorite James Bond, so and I make no apologies for that. So I want to see him go out on a high note, and yeah, I hope that it's released in November. Oh, hi, Alan. My good friend Alan Kalo has just joined the live chat. Yeah, I mean, Alan, you're from the US. Like, I'm so sorry to hear about the virus and how mishandled it has been by a certain someone, shall we say, who runs your country, or supposedly. But yeah, for Bond, I can never lose enthusiasm. Think of it this way, all the Bond fans watching this now, we have 24 movies that we can go back to. We have all these video games and all this other content. No Time to Die is the latest thing that we're all craving, but we'll get it. We will get it eventually. We have to get it. It's finished. It can't just stay dormant forever. And the day we do get it, I will be very happy. So I count my days until we get it. Again, fingers crossed. Let the November release date stay. Fingers crossed. And fingers crossed that the situation in America gets sorted much quicker than it has been, because I mean the UK, I mean, yeah, people say we could have gone into a lockdown quicker, and yeah, we probably could have done, but at the same time, America's got it worse. Get rid of the guy in charge. But I hear that some people in the cabinet are ignoring Trump, so that's good. If the political leaders in America ignore Trump, then hopefully the situation will improve. Again, I'm not from America. I can't speak for the Americans or their government, but I just hope and pray that this virus fucks off. It's ruined everyone's lives. But anyway, I think I'm going to end it there because I've been on for 30 minutes, so this is long enough. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm glad I've got such a good bunch of people commenting in the live chat, so thank you, all of you. I'll try and give you all shout outs if I can. Let me just go back up. Sam Harrison, thank you very much. Nicholas Payne, Jack the Film Fanatic, Harry Thomas, Cypher's Movie Talk, Land Before Time 75, and of course Alan Kalo. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching this, and I'll probably do maybe another discussion about No Time to Die if we do hear any news. If the news about the delay happens, then I'll do a discussion about that. But again, this is only speculation. What I have said is only from articles that are speculating another delay with this film, which is a real bummer. But anyway, this film is cursed. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned next time for more videos. And until then, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See you soon. Bye for now.